Okay, good morning, Jeff. Thanks for coming in to see me today.
That's okay. My doctor's asked me to come and have a chat with you.
Great. Well, just to start us off, it'd be really helpful if you could tell me a little bit about yourself, your daily life, some of your goals, just so I have a better idea of your current situation, how perhaps I can help you with that.
Yep. I'm married, 46 years old, two teenage sons. Principal of the advertising agency, have been for about 15 years.
Yep.
This keeps me busy during the week.
Sure.
My boys are really sporty, so on the weekends I spend most of the time either watching or coaching their teams.
Okay, yeah, well, sporty children do make very busy parents. I have children as well. They're heavily involved in a range of activities and it's exhausting. But, you know, that's really great that you're happy to be so involved by coaching as well.
Yeah.
What sport do you coach for them?
I coach my son's under 14 rep rugby team.
Okay, cool.
They train one night a week and then play on the weekends.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really proud of them, the way they play.
Yep.
I'd love to be more involved with the boys, but my AS is restricting me more and more as I get older.
Okay.
I just don't have the energy at the moment, and I'm worried that the gap between what I want to do and what I can do will just get bigger over time.
Okay, fair enough. Now, I can't claim to have walked in your shoes, obviously, or to really understand the pain that you currently have. But I do understand the frustrations you feel about not being able to do what you want to be able to be doing. I think that's something that as adults and parents we all struggle with from time to time. Can you tell me maybe about some of the key areas that you feel where you're not meeting your own expectations or the goals that you have for yourself?
Yeah, any spare time I'd love to be passing the footy with them or bowling to them in the cricket nets, doing exercise with them, but I don't have the energy.
Okay.
Any spare time I have, I feel more like collapsing into bed and putting my runners on and getting outdoors. It's a real struggle.
Sure.
And when I do get out with them, I'm embarrassed when they see me bend and pick up a ball and I'm grabbing my back or playtime with them is restricted. I just want to be a dad they can look up to, not look out for.
Okay, well, your boys sound very physically active. So how about you and your wife growing up? Is she involved in any sport or were either of you very active growing up?
Yeah, my wife keeps active with running, yoga and Pilates.
Mm-hmm.
When I was younger, I played a lot of sport. Love my sport.
Okay.
I really enjoyed my cricket, my rugby, but I had to give it all away in my mid-20s when the AS started to kick in.
Okay, now I get it, you know, that's really tough when it's such a major part of your life. But you must be really pleased that your boys have picked up your passion for sport and health and fitness.
Yeah, that's for sure. I'm a real believer in team sports for kids, not just for health and fitness, but also for social bonding that you get as part of a team. It's quite unique in a team. I don't want to be one of those dads that lives their lives for their kids, but I can't lie. It's a buzz seeing your kids doing well, and I really enjoy enjoying it socially.
Okay, that's really interesting. Does feeling that way, does that come from your own experience?
Yeah, my best friends today are guys that I grew up with playing team sport with. To this day, we have each other's back. They're like family to me. They still try and get me to play touch footy with them. No chance.
Okay, thanks, Jeff. I think I've got a pretty good idea of your lifestyle, some of the areas that aren't working out so well for you due to the AS that you're experiencing. So can you help me understand how the AS has put a stop to your exercise participation?
Sure. It's been really disappointing, but the reality is I'm in constant chronic pain. There's just no way I could strap on boots and have a run around with my mates anymore. The frustrating thing is that there's no cure, so the pain is only going to get worse as I get older. Well, that's what I've been told.
Okay.
And I'd love to play in father and son cricket teams or Golden Oldies rugby.
Yep.
Because my playing days were cut short. I love the sport, but my body just isn't up to it.
Okay. Now, that is frustrating. I mean, you're still a young man, right? Now, you clearly though do have a really strong bond with your boys, and let me tell you, you're really lucky there. It's not always the case with teenagers. So, what advice have you been given about how to alleviate or manage your pain?
Well, I'm on a bunch of medications which take the edge off a bit.
Right.
I've taken gluten and inflammatory foods out of my diet. I've experimented with a bunch of other diet changes that I think have helped a bit.
Okay. Good.
I've been told to keep as active as I can, which my doctor asked me. That's why he asked me to be here today.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
assuming. But the reality is the pain is too great. The worse the pain is, the worse my mood gets. And I tend to want to just keep myself in a cocoon.
Okay. Well, it sounds like you've managed to make some positive changes in your diet, right? So that's great. Are your family on board with the dietary changes?
Yeah, we're all now eating according to my dietary changes, or
Okay.
around it,
Yeah.
which is great of them to do it. They've been really, my family have been really supportive. But when my pain is bad, I don't have the ability to function, let alone throw a ball around with the boys or go for a run with my wife. It's not the person I planned on being or the person I grew up as.
Okay. Well, it really sounds like you're being a little tough on yourself. Now, you mentioned earlier that you coach your son's team and watch all of both your boys' games. That sounds like a very engaged parent to me.
Yeah, I am. I understand what you're saying. It's frustrating.
Sure.
There's just no way I could even think about exercising. I get up in the morning and the body's so stiff and sore, and I can be groggy from the medication I've taken to help me get to sleep and help relieve the pain. And after work, I'm physically exhausted from my condition. It takes all my energy to get through the day. I literally go home, eat, and fall in bed. Exercise is not an option. I think people realise how mentally draining chronic pain is. Having it 24/7. I try to be positive. I try not to show pain to friends and family. I do what I can with the medications and my diet.
Okay. Now, it's understandable. But tell me, how do you think things will progress for you if you don't make any changes to physical activity and just continue with the medication and dietary changes?
I understand my body won't feel any better. The doctor tells me I can slow progression of the disease if I exercise. I can't get motivated when everything hurts so much. I just don't know what to do.
Okay. Well, how long in the morning does it take for the pain to ease?
I tend to loosen up a bit after a shower. It takes the edge off the morning stiffness. I feel much better by the time I walk out the door. Although I tend to stiffen up when I drive for over an hour to get to work.
Okay, so it sounds like warmth and movement alleviate the pain, while immobility and the cold exacerbate it. Does that sound correct?
Yeah, that's exactly right. I'm in so much pain at rest. The idea of exercise makes me feel fearful of additional pain, or I'll make it worse. But when I think about those coaching sessions, I actually feel better after them.
Okay, well, maybe we can think about that moving forward. So you obviously value competitive sport and challenges. Maybe you consider setting yourself a challenge.
Yeah, I've always been a competitive person. When someone tells me I can't do something, I'm determined to prove them wrong.
Okay, well, maybe you could prove yourself wrong. You mentioned earlier that you can't imagine putting boots on and playing again with your friends. That's actually quite an interesting point, because in coaching your son's team, do you instruct them verbally, or do you need to demonstrate what you're trying to teach them?
I demonstrate. It's the only way to coach effectively, I think. To be honest, when I think about it, some of these boys are pretty big and quite physical now. They're growing. They keep me on my toes. I can't keep up with a lot of them. But to be honest, I think I'm getting pretty good at working out myself each session.
Okay, well, that certainly sounds like exercise to me.
Yeah, actually.
How do you feel afterwards?
Yeah, quite energised. Super tired, but I think it loosens up my body a bit. It's probably the best I feel all week, and I tend to sleep pretty well at nights afterwards.
Okay, well, great. That makes sense. Given that you said that warmth and movement do work to alleviate your pain, it sounds like you're already exercising once a week then and feeling better for it.
Yeah, I guess I am. Maybe I should train them every day. Or maybe I should just exercise with my boys more. It's odd. I don't exercise with them due to the fear of pain, but in reality, park time with them actually makes me feel better physically and emotionally. So,
Well, why not? Thinking about your schedule, do you think you could make that happen, exercising with your boys?
yeah, thinking about it, we're all early risers. I'd love to go for a walk or maybe even a light jog with the boys after my morning shower.
Okay, here we go.
It's where my body feels its best. I also don't get to see them much as I'd like to during the week because of work and long hours. Done a bit of a turnaround, haven't I?
Well, look, I totally understand that exercise can be scary when you're in chronic pain suffering, okay? But all that's happened here this morning is that you've realised you're actually exercising already and quite enjoying it.
Yeah, I guess I've redefined the way I think about exercise.
Okay. Well, Jeff, we need to wrap it up now for today, but it's been really great to meet you, and I really look forward to seeing you again next week. If I can just sum up some of the things that we've chatted about today, you'll have a think about the best times of the day for you to exercise. Maybe try and go for a walk after your morning shower while your body's feeling warm and it's loosened up a little bit. Before work, as an initial test, take the boys along with you. And seriously, keep enjoying those coaching sessions with the boys, and think about what you're actually doing physically during those sessions. Now, one thing is, keep in mind that nothing we plan for your exercising in the future is going to do you any harm, okay?
Yeah.
Now, you need to hold on to those positive feelings you get when you coach and that competitive spirit of yours. I've got every confidence that you can really close that gap between what you think you can do and what you actually can do.
Thank you for your time. To be honest, it's gone a lot better than I thought it would.
Right.
I don't feel as much resistance towards exercise anyway, and I do understand that if I can keep myself moving, it'll only help me with my life moving forward, which is really all I want to do.
Fantastic.